My mother died today. She died from Alzheimer's disease. Actually, she died from pneumonia, but I blame the Alzheimer's. There's so much I could tell you about my mother's life, but there isn't time here. Instead, I want to show you some things that happened to her life after the Alzheimer's disease became apparent. Alzheimer's is something we need to talk about, as it affects more and more of us every day. But I want to say out loud that there was much more to my mother's life than that disease. She was a wonderful mom, a loving wife to my father, a dedicated, passionate teacher, and a beautiful dancer. That said, I remember the first time we really knew, or at least admitted, that something was wrong. Ironically, it was over something I read about Alzheimer's disease. Mom, listen to this. Alzheimer's disease is the most costly disease to care for, more expensive than cancer and stroke combined. That's hard to believe when you think all we spent taking care of Dad.
Cancer. Now, I read somewhere, or someone told me, that Alzheimer's disease costs more to care for than cancer and stroke combined. That's hard to believe after all we spent taking care of your father.
Mother, I just read that to you.
Oh, recently?
Just now.
Oh, well.
Are you all right, Mom?
I'm fine, and I'm just a little distracted.
Well, you seem distracted a lot lately. I'm concerned. You left the burners on the stove a couple of times, and you piled up way more groceries at the store than you had money for. It's not like you.
Oh, it's because I gave that man $20.
What man?
The man who came to the door. He needed the money for, he needed the money. Why can't I remember what he wanted the money for?
Then you left your checkbook in the store. If they hadn't called, you'd have never found it. I'm worried.
Oh. It's nothing. I'm just old, that's all.
Still, there've been a lot of little things lately.
That was how it started with Aunt Lil. Just the little things. Aunt Lil lost her mind, and they locked her in her room.
You're not losing your mind. You're just having memory problems.
She sat alone in her room and cried for hours on end.
Mother, I look after you. You know that.
Don't say that, Edward. You don't know what you're talking about. I saw what it did to your Uncle Harold, looking after Aunt Lil. It nearly killed him, too. The caring and the worry. And it started with just a few little things. Some forgettings.
I love you, Mother. I'm there for you, I promise.
I'll not hold you to that, Edward. Now, I need to see my doctor. She can recommend me to a specialist. I'll need that, too. Oh, there'll be tests and examinations and all that stuff, so we'd best get started. I've been reading up on this. I've known for a while now that something was wrong. I just didn't want to admit it. Well, call the doctor. Go on.
The first days were the worst, really. The tests, the uncertainty. She seemed to get even more confused with all the attention and the new surroundings. And the tests they gave her to check her memory shocked me. She was reasonable about things that happened a long time ago, but something that happened last week or even this morning, she was confused. And the sequence of when she was married, when we were born, how old the grandchildren were, or who the last prime minister was, stumped her. And there was the silence. Mother, you haven't said boo in 2 days.
Boo.
Oh. You hardly spoke at the doctor's, and at the lawyer's today you were mute. You're not upset about having to sign over power of attorney and all that stuff, are you?
Not as upset as I am about not being allowed to drive myself around. But that's my independence. Take away my car and you might as well lock me in my room. Take my car and my world shrinks.
Look, the car is worth $12,000, and the insurance this year will be about $1,200. That, maintenance costs and gas, and you're saving about $15,000. Do you know how many cabs you can hire for $15,000, you silly poop?
Oh, and I don't want people blaming this on your father.
Why would they blame Dad?
Oh, they'll say that this was caused by the stress of having to look after him in the last years with his cancer. Well, I loved him, and I loved caring for him. I loved his needing me, even though he hated it. But who else should look after him? For better or for worse, in sickness and in health. I meant that. I loved him. I miss him so right now. It's not fair that he isn't here. If I could just have even one dance.
They won't blame Dad. We won't let them. Besides, it's our fault for not noticing your problems sooner.
Well, we're in it now. There's still time for you to run for the hills.
No, Mother. I'm in for the duration.
Oh, Edward, you have no idea what you're in for, and I can only imagine. You know, with Aunt Lil, they called it senility, but it was Alzheimer's, I'm sure of it. Oh, Edward, what will it be like to lose myself?
Oh, Mother. Remember what the doctor said. The people who love you now will always love you. And the things that are important now will always be important. And this disease in no way changes who you are. You got to get on with it. Now stop suffering.
Oh, you brat! That's my line. I preach that ethic in this house.
Then don't forget it. It'll come in handy.
You remember the time your Uncle Harold had the men's group from the church over, and your Aunt Lily showed up in her birthday suit wanting to party? Oh, if I ever do that.
Oh, then it's lock you in the room time.
Either that or charge admission.
Mom! Aunt Lil, Mom, what about me? Was I worried? Sure. But if I learn nothing else from all this, we have to live one day at a time. That's all any of us can really do. And that's what started to happen. Things seemed to level out for months and months, or rather, things just went along. I went to an Alzheimer's meeting, but she seemed fine. I wanted to pay attention to her, just get on with our lives. But there were moments when I could see things were getting a little worse, just by degrees. It's funny, but some of the signs made Mom and I laugh right out loud. Hi, Mom.
Oh, there. What do you think? Little Jillian will look just adorable in it.
Oh, little Jillian's daughter, maybe. Little Jillian's 21 now.
Oh, little Jillian?
Little Jillian, the center of her university basketball team. Yeah.
Oh, my.
That's okay, Mother. We were warned about stuff like that. We know about these.
Where are my glasses?
On your head.
Oh, my.
Well, that's not Alzheimer's, Mother. You've been doing that since I was 5.
Early symptoms.
No, just preoccupation.
Where are my glasses?
On your head, Mother.
are my...
On your head.
Oh, well, how did you know what I was going to ask for?
You just asked twice.
When?
Just now.
Oh, my. Well... Hello, Marge. This is Helen. Oh, fine. Yes, I even dialed by myself. Imagine. Look, you know those sweaters you give me? I only wear them when you come over. I can't stand them. Oh, and your dear husband, George, asked me to the spring dance first. I turned him down. Then he asked you. Bye now.
Mother?
Oh, shh. Oh, hello. Pizza, pizzazz? Yes, I'd like to order 5 pizzas. 5 pizzas with the works, including anchovies. Send them to George Finnegan's, 26 Placemount Drive. Yes, they'll pay cash.
Mother!
Well, I never liked her. Oh, she's my sister, yes, but she's a pompous bum. Oh, and your father never liked her.
You know what, Mother? She was never my favorite aunt either.
Oh.
Things went along with only a few bumps for almost 2 years. The first day we realized that she needed full-time live-in help was pretty clear. It became known at the Alzheimer's Society as the Meatloaf Incident. Oh yeah, I joined the Alzheimer's support group shortly after this incident, in fact. Looking back, it's the smartest thing I could have done.
Oh.
Hi, Mother. What are you looking for?
Oh, well, it's a bit embarrassing, really.
You invited me to dinner.
Yes, but I seem to have mislaid the meatloaf.
You lost the meatloaf? Do you smell something?
No.
Mother, you burnt the piece of the pot.
Oh. You have a key to this house?
What?
You have a key. Oh, the police said there was no break-in, so you have a key.
You called the police?
They said whoever stole the meatloaf probably had a key. Oh, it was you, my own son. Oh. Why would he do this to me? I'm his mother. I'm still his mother. Oh.
Mother, just sit down. Forget the meatloaf. We'll go out to dinner.
Oh, I'm meatloaf.
Just sit down, Mother. We'll talk about it later. And you're not meatloaf.
I'm not meatloaf.
You're just upset. Do you want your knitting?
No knitting. Why would he do this to me? I never hurt him, and now he steals from me. Oh.
Mother, we're going to have someone in, full time. And then you won't have to worry. We won't have to worry. And no one has stolen anything from you, Mother, except this damn disease. The police should have brought in the dogs.
What is happening to me?
Come on, Mom. Let's have a dance.
Oh, I could.
By the end of the next year, there were times when she lost herself completely and didn't even know me. It was sad. It was also frightening. And there was nothing I could do but just be there. Hi, Mom. How's it going?
What are you? What are you here?
I just dropped over for my visit.
Who are you? Who? What does this man want? Who is he? I don't understand what is happening here.
I'm Edward. I'm your son.
Oh, you're too old. Edward is just a little wee fish. Just a little wee fish.
With a little wee tail. I know, Mother. You've told me that all my life.
No! Edward is just a little wee fish. Just a little wee fish. Oh! Oh! Who is he and what is he doing here? Oh, I'm getting upset. I'm alone here and he's frightening me. I'll stab you. Stab beetles. Stab beetles.
Mother, it's okay. Relax. I just came to check on you. I'm Edward. I'm your son. Mother, please take it easy.
I'm warning to you. I'm warning you.
Mother, please, tell me about Edward. What was Edward like? Is Edward a nice boy?
Edward. Oh. Edward. Little wee fish.
With a little wee tail.
He's a kind, gentle child who never combs his hair. It's always in a tussle. He's never worried me for a day.
What would you say if I told you that Edward would grow to be a nice man? A nice man who would take care of you no matter what happened. Because he loves you so very much.
Lovely fish. Lovely boy fish. My lovely boy.
I'm Edward, Mother. I'm your little fish. And I love you very much.
He's the nice man. And I remember now, he's taking good care of me.